Wait, hold on, man. Wait a minute. The maintenance still hasn't started? Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and today's video is going to analyze the way tiers work. Has a 5% chance to find you the luck of your life. But guys, please remember that this video is 100% MFO. I mean, look at the merch. I'm sorry. I mean, it feels good on the skin. I'm just saying. Anyway, I really wanted to talk about this because this is something that I feel like a lot of people are, maybe they don't understand it to a certain degree. It's kind of like when I see people, when I saw people upset about, you know, when they advertise and stuff like that, which is, you know, obviously bad. But this is a little bit different. This is something that is somewhat out of the control of a developer. This is the iOS inspection delay. Now, let's be clear. I wanna get the grievances out of the way in the really quickly, right? How come, you know, the questions are always gonna come is like, how come this wasn't taken care of in advance? So like, if you have a patch or an update, why are you not getting that done in advance and then you just pretty much drop it, right? You just drop it when the day comes. Why is it you guys are trying to do it on the day of? I think it has to do, I'm just being honest here, I think it's because of like data miners and stuff like that, that they can't really do that. If they were to drop a lot of information and have it sit somewhere like way more than what they already have, I think that that's where everything would get leaked. But I think that they do have to drop a certain amount of stuff specifically on the day that it releases. So there's no game, nothing in the game files, there's nothing like that. I could be wrong about that, and I'm fully aware that I could be wrong, but at the same time, I think that that's probably a huge reason why when games do these big patches, because wouldn't it obviously make sense to just do small incremental patches? I think, if I'm not mistaken, don't hold me on this, I think League of Legends or some game, I think that they decided to just do that. They started to slowly but surely patch stuff. I know sometimes in fighting games, what they do is that they'll put like the character, they'll have the gray out, you can't select the character. The characters in the game, they announce the character, but you just can't use it, but they're in the game. They do like small little incremental steps to let you know that something is coming. So in this case for Exos Heroes, it would have been like, oh, these characters would have been in the journal already. You could click them, you could see them. You know, we could have, for us it would have been great. You know, we would have been able to look at Valentina and you know, instead of us kind of guesstimating some certain things, we would have been able to see it. Same thing with Dorka, Clock, Naomi. We would have been able to just kind of like see that stuff. But the problem is that sometimes these games, they really do want to do things last minute, and I'm assuming this is the reason why. That's the only reason I can think of. They want to not have it spoiled. For gacha games, dropping stuff and boom, it's right there in your face is really big for them. You know, it's a big business of coming out of like surprise, like makes you want to get it, and then now all of a sudden you don't know how much ZEUZ you're supposed to have. That's kind of why I really wanted to make that banner video, because if you know that, you know, one is gonna drop by the end of the month, that means that by the end of the month, all you need is this much. You need this much ZEUZ. You know, skip all the black, skip the blue, all that stuff, and then you'd be fine. Now, if the devs team, and this seems like it's, and this is not just this game that has this inspection delay issue, right? iOS, I've seen this on multiple games, and again, I don't know the validity of it. I'm not gonna say that they're bullshitting. I do think that it's a real thing, like that they do get halted, because one, I've never heard of an Android one. I've heard of iOS inspection delays a lot. I've heard of these things a lot in a lot of the games that I've played, that something would happen and they usually just blame Apple. Just like, Apple will not let us drop this. They want to make sure that it's okay. I don't know how Android is somewhat always quicker. I don't know. Doesn't do anything. Now, the next thing that I wanted to quickly talk about was, I've seen some comments, they were saying, wait, why don't you just drop it for Android? And then, you know, same thing, they'll be like, yo, then just give the PC version, just give us the Xbox version. Sometimes I've seen that before when the game is multi-platformed and one platform is holding it up. So sometimes it's like the Switch version is, what is it? Oh yeah, good example would be Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dragon Ball FighterZ, for some fucking reason, on the Switch, the characters drop quicker or earlier than on the PC or on the console. I mean, that's fucked up. The Switch is definitely a console, but you know how most people look at it as a handheld, but the Switch for some reason gets it quicker. It causes frustration and anger. That's why they don't do it. If they were to put this on Android, first of all, that would be really weird. I think that most emulators I think are Android, so yes, a lot of us would be able to play, but you guys are really not looking at that some iOS users will be royally fucked over by something like that, and then they're gonna feel like they are behind. And also, if they were to release it to some people but not the others, some people would then theorize or would think that, hey, well, now these guys are getting an unfair advantage. They're getting able to access the game, like especially if we're thinking about, you know, PvP and leveling up characters, that now all of a sudden an iOS person is going into the game, especially like I said, PvP, and like they haven't gotten anything and now they can't win because everyone has all the new stuff. But when everyone's on the same playing field, the same page, then it's fine. I actually do agree with that. I don't think that, you know, yes, you know, like, yo, if you don't, then just go get an emulator. Not everyone has a computer. I know a lot of people that literally play mobile games or you know, avoid console games, avoid PC games because they don't have a computer. They don't have a console. They have a phone because their phone is multifaceted. It does a lot of things for them. So to just say like, well, unfortunately you picked the wrong phone here, it's just not smart. It is not necessary. They don't have to do it. This is an update. This is the game telling you, hey, we're gonna add stuff into the game, and it's coming out when we say it is. And I told people in my Discord, and I said like, hey, the last time they tried to do an update, it got botched or whatever like that. There was a delay, and then now they said, hey, to be determined. Something might have came up, and they don't want to commit to a date or a time because that's how this works. So I think what they're doing here is exceptionally smart. And last but not least, does compensation need to be given when it's not their fault? You know, you know, is this their fault and they need to give compensation, even if it's a small compensation like clocks, Levi stones, things of that nature? And the obvious answer here is no, of course they don't. I don't think that maintenance deserves compensation. I really don't. But you guys know who I am. You guys should already know what I'm saying. I shouldn't even have to say it. I almost should be like, I wish I could take a picture of my comment section in the future and someone would be like, oh, Cash is gonna say this, because it's the same fucking thing. And the same thing is that even though you don't have to do something or you don't have to go above and beyond, you still do. There's some people that are anxious for this update. They're so fucking ready to dive into it, and now you're telling them that, you know, oh, you guys gotta wait. Sorry, you know, this was gonna be. Look at Valentina. Valentina says that she's going to drop after the update, and then it ends on a certain date. So imagine if this iOS update stalls out for longer than what they anticipate, but then they said, hey, it's gonna end. Now not only do they have to then extend certain stuff, like now they gotta, instead of it ending on, I think it said like September 3rd, because I think that's the next Thursday, right? Yeah, here it is, September 3rd. I'm like looking up here. Now, you know, now we're gonna have less days because of iOS, and it's like people are gonna be like, well, you guys did it, so you guys gotta fix it. You guys gotta make us happy. They really don't have to do anything, to be honest. It's them. It's a big ass update. They're already updating the game. Technically, it is a free update. You're not paying for it like in its expansion, which is like what people would have to do. Pay like $4, $5, $50, whatever like that for an expansion, even though that's technically what they're doing. So when it goes a little bit astray, you know, why are you expecting compensation? Like, the game's not down. I would understand if the game was down right now. I'm playing the game right now. The game works just fine. You're not being stopped from anything. You can play, you can do your dailies, your guilds, and everything like that. So why are they gonna give you compensation? They don't need to, technically, but they should anyway. I mean, like, and I know it might come off like, oh my god, we deserve something every time something happens. And it like I said, it doesn't mean that, but just give someone a little bit of something. I think the smaller the delay or the smaller the impact, you just give a smaller gift. You don't have to always, like, I don't think that we deserve, well, just because of the delay, we're gonna give you guys 19,000 ZEUZ so you can pity on Valentina. Would I like that? I mean, of course I'd take it, but like, I don't think that they need to do that, something that deep. You know, they did a pretty reasonable response for the Lepin banner. the way that was response, that was a proper response. There's no need for them to go crazy above and beyond for a delay because of a certain platform, which they're still delaying everything else because of the stuff that I mentioned earlier. That's the whole thing about Lepin's banners, that, you know, technically those people would have got a head start. You know, they would have got free summons because of a mistake that was on their end. So not providing head starts is a big thing here. You don't want that. You don't want to have it that, you know, certain platforms are just better and then all of a sudden no one wants to play on iOS and they lose their iOS market because what's the point of playing on iOS? So it always gets delayed. And a game could do that, you know, like have a game that works better on Android and they promote it, but Android probably doesn't pay them for that, to be honest. There are some Android specific games. There are some Apple specific games as well. So it's not like they couldn't do that, like, or a game that does, oh, this game only works on iOS. This game only works on the Android system. That's just less money. I don't think that's the reason why you don't really see that anymore. And then you got Genshin Impact, who's like, yo, we're gonna just do, you can play it on the mobile, you can play it on, you know, the tablet, you can play it on the console. That game's gonna obviously make a shit ton of money. Like, it's because it has more platforms. So all in all, guys, don't be too upset when this happens. It is a real thing, in my opinion. It is a real thing. The only thing is that how they could have prevented it, that's a completely different thing that I'm not privy on. I don't really honestly know how they can avoid this without, like I said, risking spoilers, risking leaks. Leaks and stuff are bad. I honestly do think that it's bad for a game to have someone else drop news, and it could be, you know, stuff is typed wrongly, or maybe it's just something that they had thought about. They just want to put it into the game just so, you know, people can look at it, and then it's leaked, and then people, you know, and people already do that, and some people think it ruins the game at all. I personally think it does. So of course, as you guys know, drop those YFOs below. What do you feel about this delay? If I'm being honest, it could be something along the lines of they missed a deadline. You know, like maybe there's an iOS deadline that they just for some reason don't respect. And as you guys saw, they've done a lot of updates. You know, this game has been out for like a month or so, so they've done a couple of updates, and not all of them have been messed up by iOS. So when maybe it's these really, really big ones, or when they're doing a lot of certain things that are changing systems in the game, that maybe they need to do a quicker check. Do you guys feel like maybe there's something that the company is fumbling on specifically that they need to change? And last but not least, bottom merch, man. I mean, ooh. But outside of that, I have a MFO episode coming. It's gonna pretty much drop directly after this. So if you guys, once you guys are done watching this video, this should be an MFO video. It's gonna be a more personal video. It's not really a, you know, let's talk about gaming. It's gonna be personal, more like personal about me, and then you guys can get pretty much a double upload, probably possibly technically a triple upload, depending on when all this gets ironed out. So you guys are getting spoiled today. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Just remember to like, comment, subscribe, and remember that every day at the Casino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.